narcissistic mother or father or family projects their own garbage onto you and wants you to acquiesce with that and accept that, yes, I'm worthless and I'm bad intrinsically. I don't deserve anything, and I don't even deserve to have a self. I don't deserve to even have myself. I don't deserve to have any kind of awareness at all. And you become a kind of magnet to all these really abusive, toxic people or beings that are very, very dark indeed. Yeah, you become a battery, right? I'll speak about that in my last video. So instead of being acutely, astutely present within yourself, feeling your physical, emotional, energetic responses, reactions to the environment, you're not. And what happens is that you veer towards these really dangerous, harmful, toxic, demonic beings because you've been primed to do so. They show up in your world like here, there, everywhere. They're everywhere. It's like you're surrounded by them. You know, like you're subconsciously reeling them in, right? Please come and feed off me. Come and feed off me. It's really scary shit. And then you, because you're completely oblivious and clueless as to your true being, you get entangled into these types of friendships, relationships, or just simple altercations on the external, like people in shops, I don't know, people on the bus, people on the train, people that walk past you even on the street. Somehow everything feeds off you and you're oblivious, feeling that you're so worthless. You need to allow this, you need to somehow, this is codependency on a massive level. Do you get what I'm saying? It's like, well, if I do that, perhaps I'll redeem myself. If I let them all feed off me, if I let them all dump all their garbage all over me, let them feed off me, if I allow the matrix to suck the life force right out of me, perhaps I will prove that I'm worthy and lovable and good after all. How many of you have ever been aware, like really aware of this? Remember in my videos where I talk about the dark generator or the black hand, I call it the dark generator really because it doesn't really have words. It's a bit like the Horcrux or the Dementors in Harry Potter, but it's this dark, viscous, evil energy force that permeates this realm, and perpetually 24/7, more so now than ever before, where it's like, no, you're not allowed to have boundaries, you're not allowed to have boundaries, you're not allowed to have boundaries. It's like I was in that shop and I felt the energy of that woman, and it was bad. You get the black-eyed people, right? Whatever they are. And they, for example, would have really, really bad energy. And everything inside of you goes, like, whoa, get away from me. But the dark generator makes you feel guilty about that. Yeah, because you're not allowed to set boundaries. So you're so used to not setting boundaries. You're so used to feeling this horrible mechanism within you that slots into place the minute your intuition, your empathic ability as a soul traveler tells you this person or this being, whatever they are, is bad, get away from them. Or this place is bad, get away from it. Or don't do this, this is not a good idea, it feels wrong. All of that has, no, you're not allowed to think that, you're not allowed to feel that, you're not allowed to trust yourself, don't trust yourself, you can't trust yourself, you can't trust anything. Because if you don't set boundaries, if you feel this massive tidal wave of guilt, of you're really, really bad for feeling this person has bad energy, you're being judgmental, you're being cruel, you're being mean, you're not supposed to, you're supposed to go straight toward that person and entangle with them and let them feed off you, and they're good people, really, you're the one that's bad, they're the one that's good, you're not allowed to have boundaries, you're bad, now go and be a battery. Oh man, that's what we're used to, right? And sorry, I'm a bit all over the place, guys. It's just been absolutely bloody full on, and it just keeps getting darker and darker. And I know, like, the sort of pervasive sense of hopelessness and despair is overwhelming, and the high strangeness is overwhelming. Like all the flickering lights Mr. MBB333 is a really good channel to watch his videos, right? Because there's so much weird shit going on across the plane, like street lights, lights inside homes, car headlights, computers are glitching, everything is flickering. It's just, none of it makes any sense. Well, but everything is connected. Everything is connected, and everything that has blocked us, that has choked us, that has sucked the bloody life force right out of us is being exposed. It had to be exposed. You cannot heal or shift or transmute that which remains hidden. It's really fucking, it's like, I wish it could be another way. I wish it could be easier, but it, you know, it's hard. More and more now, it's as if I'm having to literally stumble through language, choosing my words very carefully, knowing that to use the word in understanding or release or whatever is just not a good idea, because they're loaded, language is loaded. But more and more I feel semi-telepathic almost, as if it's a language in and of itself, a feeling. I don't know if any of you, you know, experience that. But anyway, to get back to the whole boundary thing, first of all, the resurgence, the emergence of your sense of self. Getting to know yourself, seeing the difference between the fake persona, which is the shadow self, which lived in your narcissistic parents and siblings, that dark, distorted, rage-filled, this garbage that they dumped into you, that then subsequently activated you, and it is us, but it isn't us, if you know what I mean. It's an imposter, but it's made up of trauma and programs and mechanisms that it becomes so chaotic and convoluted, and within that insanity, of course, lies all that cognitive dissonance. This, every time you see with your spirit eyes and your true selfhood what this is, and this is not something that you know on a mental plane. There is, you can know something mentally, like I can see a color, like say red, and know that this is red. But I can also see that color and feel that color and know that this is red. I like this color. It feels a certain way to me. Truth cannot be seen and understood with the mind. It can only be felt. I know that. And when you've been separated from yourself and you are you're in that fuggy shadow consciousness state where you're just reactive, triggered, not in awareness of what is running your show and what is fucking with you, and you're just a battery and keep getting entangled with all these really parasitical beings of all different types and who knows. Well, but then you awaken and you do your inner work, you regain your selfhood bit by bit by bit. That's soul retrieval for you, literally going through the layers. And every time you clear a layer, you cleanse a layer, it feels absolutely appalling, because you have to move through that which you are clearing. The abuse is beyond any words, right? From your childhood experiences of being abused by the narcissists to, that's the micro, to the macro. What do you think this world is? And there you are with your spirit eyes and you see it. You feel what this is. It is beyond any words, and yet that cognitive dissonance is there, right? Oh no, that's not true. You're wrong. You're mistaken. The world's just fine. Everything's fine. Everything is great. Everything is great. You know, the mundane reality reinforcement officers, the NPCs. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Everything is great. Everything is great. We're all in this together. It's great. It's great. It's great. Let's obey the government. It's all great. It's wonderful. Yeah. Cognitive dissonance. It's. But when you regain your selfhood, your self-power, your self-determination, your self-awareness, your presence, your I am, you begin to, wow, you see it, you hear it, you feel it, you know what's going on. You're not allowed to have boundaries. You're a bad person for feeling that really, really horrific, putrid energy of this person. But it's like, well, I felt it, so there it is. That is a sign I need to get the hell away from them. If they are in my life in any way or shape or form, I need to eliminate them from my life. You don't have to do it with hatred. You don't have to do it with rage. You don't have to do it with judgment. There's always that other kind of urge to, you got to work out exactly what they are. Are they demons? Are they NPCs? Are they this? Are they that? You see, you're back in the loop again. If you don't want to go there, you don't. So resist that temptation to try and work out what's going on. If it feels bad, it's bad. Get away from it if you can. Set fucking powerful boundaries if you cannot. Like say if they are the mother or the father of your child or a work colleague or a neighbor, as in with me, right? You got to get away from them. I have noticed of late that there are people that I've known for a long time that were okay, palatable, doable, all of a sudden aren't. It's like, whoa, what the fuck's happened to you? It's like they've regressed, but of course you don't meet the same people. Like, because it's that whole Mandela effect type shit where, oh, that's not the same person as there. History is different. Everything's different. This person was like that, now they're like that. What the fuck? What the fuck? It's very confusing, guys, I know. It's very confusing. And yet, here we are navigating it still. You can never ever have any kind of self-trust if you're still operating on automatic, not setting any boundaries. This is what it is. The cognitive dissonance, the constant guilt tripping, making you feel like you're a monster for setting boundaries and getting people out of your life and getting situations out of your life and not putting up with bullshit anymore. For knowing what I'm feeling, this energy that came off that woman, man, it was scary, it really was. It was like she was all like, it was like demonic, beyond any doubt. Her eyes were completely dead, there was no light in them, they were like black holes. It was like, get away from me. And I think what happens in those types of situations is that our shadow self pipes up, because part of that shadow self is that hatred and that rage that we feel and have to work through and transmute on account of having been used and abused and violated and brutalized by this insane asylum, by the narcissists and the black-eyed people, by whatever they are. You see, I can't say they are this or they are that, but evil is evil, bad is bad. Feeding off you is feeding off you. Siphoning off your life force is siphoning off your life force. All this has happened to us. We have been forcibly turned away from ourselves. We have been forced to abandon ourselves. We have been forced to accept that we are dirty and bad and have to serve as a source of lush to everything around us. So when you come, even after having done a shitload of inner work, when you come across these creatures, beings, whatever they are, there is going to be this upsurge of rage. And of course, immediately, the dark generator swoops in and tells you that, oh, look at you. You're such a bad person for feeling that way. See? See, though, it all comes down to self-knowing, being present and understanding why we feel the feelings that we feel. And to allow ourselves to work through these emotions, move through these emotions. If it means screaming and screaming and screaming, crying and crying, it's hard, I know it is, and not getting enough sleep and not feeling like eating anymore and just generally feeling like absolute crap. Thinking, is this ever going to end? Is this ever going anywhere? You have two choices. You can either give in and give up and give in to the hate and the rage and let it ride you and become it and stay there. And just do what narcissists do. Pretend that, it's their fault, when in fact it isn't. It's your choice. And it's your self-hatred and it's your self-attack. And you just don't want to heal. I understand that, I get that. because it's a very slippery customer. The hell contagion is a slippery customer. When I see all the Bliss junkies, the new age Bliss junkies, you know, with their fascination for Eckhart Tolle and Joe Dispenza, and you know, there's a channel I like for the breathing exercises, but the guy who facilitates the channel, I mean, he's a Bliss junkie, there's absolutely no doubt about it, inviting some elevated emotions, and everybody is obsessed with manifesting. The fact that everybody seems to be obsessed with manifesting tells me this world is really fucked up, because if everybody was happy and doing well, they wouldn't need to be obsessed with manifesting, would they? So there you have it. Oh, gratitude, love, this, that, and it's like, yeah, but what about the elephant in the living room? The shadow consciousness, the self-hate, the self-attack, the rage. What about all the abuse? What about that dark generator telling you that you're dirty and bad and that the world is great and wonderful and you're the one that's wrong and you're mistaken and you shouldn't trust yourself, you can't trust anything and you're not allowed to have boundaries? What about that? I mean, the weather is like, there's fog, it's like it's October, the squalid asphalt roads everywhere, the dead animals, the disintegration of absolutely everything. Oh, I have to paint the walls again. Why is every single item of clothing that I pull out of my wardrobe inside out all of a sudden? I mean, it's definitely ramped up, like to a massive degree here. It's what I call the anti-force, the obstructionism, the blocking. That which blocks us, that which really, really blocks us, is all this programming that the guilt tripping. See, the Matrix, which is just a fucking word, and it's from a movie, and I ought to think of another word really, but I can't at this moment in time, and this, that and the other time. Here we go again. Oh dear. It is the whole thing, the system, all of it, this entire realm pretty much is infected with the sickness. Evil is a sickness. I'm convinced of that. It is not a natural thing at all. And it's a parasite. And it needs for us to continue to believe that we're bad and guilty. The narcissist needs for you, it needs for you to believe this distorted, putrid person they want you to believe you are. They need for that to be the case. They need for you to believe that, because that is the only way in which they can pretend they are something they're not. And I'm not, this is, see what I mean? It's like, no, that's not a judgment, that's a simple fact. They will brutalize you as a child. There's these narcissists, you know, they decide to get pregnant, they decide to have a baby, a child, and that which lived in them, the darkness, will set forth to utterly annihilate that tiny little child and program it to be a battery. It's incredible. You're not allowed. See, as a child, you will know, because you're an empath, right? So you will know beyond any shadow of a doubt that this is evil and this is wrong. Most likely, you will express that in some way or another. As a child, even as a small child, you will resist, yeah? Which will incur the wrath. Oh boy, it will. So you soon learn, okay, I need to go along with whatever they want, otherwise I'm screwed. You're a child, you're back against the wall, they're your caregivers, right? So what are you going to do? And this is how you self-abandon and turn against yourself, and this is how you lose your selfhood. You really do. I know that this journey is incredibly, there are no words for how utterly gut-wrenchingly difficult it is and painful. But I know it's meaningful because I've gained myself back, and I've developed my spirit eyes, meaning I feel the truth, I know the truth intrinsically. I see it more and more and more and more, and I get it more and more and more and more, and I hear that the dark generator is more rabid and more desperate and more angry than it's ever been. And you know, all these people complaining of tinnitus. No, it isn't tinnitus, it's not your ears. That is the sound of the dark generator. Yeah. This realm is not at all not at all what we thought we're conditioned to think it is. And it is a massive eye-opener, spirit eyes, awakening, which is, again, awakening, don't really like that term very much, but to it all. Layer by layer by layer, you get it more, you get it even more, then you get it even more, and then you get it even more, and it gets tougher, it gets harder, it gets darker as you go into it, as you tunnel into it. The truth. All that cognitive dissonance telling you that, oh no, you're wrong, it isn't a putrid abomination, it's beautiful, it's good, it's meant to be like this, you know. Oh, wow. You learn, and it's trial and error, and you learn to set boundaries, you learn to recognize what's what and to get away from it. That is self-love. All that shadow consciousness, it is, honestly, it is like a dark magic spell. And the best way I can put it, I compare it to Tin Man, which is a little mini-series. It's based on The Wizard of Oz. It's pretty good. It's like something dark has entered us in the womb via our mother, father, and it gets activated through the abuse. And it's very tough to deal with this, you know, that there is it, because these self-attacking, you know, like everybody talks about the inner critic, right? How many times have you heard people talk about, oh, the inner critic? But when you prod them a little bit to introspect and go down that rabbit hole, they don't really want to, yeah? They're not ready for that. If their soul, they don't want to, it's like, no, I can't deal with that. But it's there. And it's an overlap, because you get the dark generator, which is the perpetual, it's the forces of evil, such as they are in this world, that need for us to continue in our shadow consciousness, because that is the only control that it has over us. It's kind of like a sock puppet. The dark generator, the forces of evil, such as they are, put their hand into the sock that is your shadow consciousness and manipulate you via that. And when you're not in awareness in any way, shape or form, that's it. You're, in a way, in a sense, a flying monkey of the Matrix, right? But your introspecting soul traveler is going to become more and more and more aware of what is really going on here. And as you set boundaries with regards to the external, you've got to set boundaries with regards to the internal, as in this intrusive evilness that is not you, but that overlaps with your consciousness. So it comes in and it right? Why do you think it's trauma-based mind control after all? Why? Because a fully awake, soul-traveling empath is not going to be a battery. And this kind of proves to me that evil does not really have the power. It's very good at what it does, I know that, and we shouldn't underestimate it at all. And for most of us, I mean, we've been through absolute hell. So we know full well how dreadful and powerful it can be. And right now, incrementally, in fact, over the last 5 years especially, it's just gotten from bad to worse, and it's overwhelming now. It's like a deluge of nastiness and bad energy. And high strangeness, as in like people with red eyes, all red, like demons. People with black eyes, all black, again, demonic. The disintegration rate is off the charts. And like I said, the high strangeness, like again, that channel, Mr. MBB333, I cannot recommend it highly enough. The guy's not really with it, but he has integrity and his channel's good. It doesn't post, fake stuff from TikTok. And he talks about weird shit going on everywhere, and everything is connected, guys. I believe the flickering lights and various other weird techie glitches it's all connected to the electromagnetic spectrum, and I think it's all connected to what I call the ether. So free energy, and your church spires, that they weren't churches obviously, because religion is just a hijack of what was many researchers ago a mystical revelations. All the religions, Hinduism, Islam, Judaism, Christianity. It was one mystical revelation. It was a truth by which we existed, communed with, and it was quite good, and so forth and so on. We had free energy and this, that and the other, and we had what is known as the ether. Because I talk about the disconnection in one of my last videos. Here's the thing, guys, we are connected. We never lost that connection. But when you have souled beings in this shadow state, self-hating, self-attacking, judging each other, hating each other, suspicion, all this negative, toxic garbage, distortion, then that connection is polluted. Do you get what I'm saying? So everything is connected. So being an empath is actually completely normal, natural. It is the way to be. We are all connected. You know, it's one kind of sea of consciousness, and that sea is polluted with this nasty, tortuous infection, right? So we were never disconnected, but we experienced disconnection because of the infection, that hell contagion, that fake consciousness, that distortion. It's a sickness, and it's a consciousness. And consciousness is conscious, and consciousness is conscious of itself. And this dark consciousness manifests the realm, the world around us. You see, and it ain't pretty. It's fucking distorted, man, and putrid, and rotten. Really rotten. Yeah. And yet that rottenness then triggers the garbage to come up. It is a healing covenant. But you do think to yourself, well, yeah, but it's, wow. See, so we never lost that connection. We are intrinsically all connected. It is one consciousness. It is the ether. It is electromagnetism, or plasma, or something. These are just words. And it's infected, it's polluted. And we feel the pollution, and we see the pollution, and we know it. We know it, not on a mental plane, because that just isn't really any good. We know it because when you know it, you feel it. And that's got to be cleared, it's got to be transmuted, neutralized. And you get yourself back, you regain yourself. It's like an undiscovered country that you regain more and more of, and this is the journey inward. I mean, how could it be any other way? This is why you could perpetually having these people shoved in your face on YouTube and Facebook, in the world out there when you're out and about, whatever, that are all happy. They're all happy and living the life of Riley, and they're happy, and they talk about elevating your emotions, and it's always about raising your vibration, isn't it? You've got to raise your vibration. Here's the thing, guys, we have a very high vibration. We're soul travelers, we're empaths, and we're waking the fuck up, and we're regaining ourselves. We would not be able to do any of that if our vibration was shit or low or whatever. There's no need to raise your vibration at all. It's got fuck all to do with that. It is about healing, and it's about coming back home to yourself and to self-love. It's about becoming, well, be the hunter, not the hunted. You turn around within yourself and you see the face of the other side within you. It overlaps, and it's very difficult often enough to discern what is me and what isn't me. But when you practice metacognition, and you learn to observe yourself, you begin to get it more and more. Yeah, you know, you begin to see with your heart, your it is there continuously, undermining you, pulling the rug from beneath you, telling you that you're not allowed to have boundaries. That means you're a bad person. You're some monstrosity for setting boundaries. How dare you? And the cognitive dissonance. Oh, this is all there is, this is all there is. Evil always wins and there's nothing you can do. You're bad, we're good. This is what evil is, you see. It obviously has issues facing itself because it is always projecting onto us. Now, I know I'm good. I know that now. But it's still there telling me I'm not. It's still there telling me I'm not good and I'm evil and I'm bad. But it is evil and it is bad. And that is simply a fact because I know that because I can see that every day. Right? Now, that tells you something about evil because it has trouble. It cannot face itself. I remember at the beginning of the psyop, and in fact, no, there's a better example even. You know, this whole panel of people from the tobacco industry all saying, no, nicotine is not addictive at all and cigarettes are good for you. It's all a lie. It can't help itself. It can't help itself. I am good. I am good. I have a right to be. I have a right to exist. I am good. I am good. I am good. It's like a child in a way. And it's like, no, you're evil. Look what you're doing. Right? But here's the thing, guys. Ultimately, I feel forgiveness. Forgiveness. And I don't mean, because a lot of people totally do not understand what forgiveness is. They think that it means that you tolerate or that you accept evil or whatever. It's not about that at all. It's not about that at all, but it's about letting yourself off the hook finally. Because when you are entangled in I am a powerless victim and evil always wins and I want vengeance and I want to stop it, and you're in a state of resisting and you're in a state of against self, and it's actually aiding and abetting the dark side. Truly it is. I know this from experience. Self-forgiveness is where it all starts. So knowing that, yes, I have this shadow self. I'm learning to discern what's me, what isn't me. And when I come across certain beings that have really bad energy, I get like a surge of this hate and this rage and this revulsion, and I want to, and I need to forgive myself for that, because at the end of the day, that's all part of the course, because I've been used very, very badly here. So I'll love myself there, because that's a child within you that was forced to abandon itself, was forced to believe it was bad, was not allowed to have likes or dislikes, was not allowed to dance or draw or be joyful or innocent, was not allowed to express herself at all. That child's been badly abused, badly hurt. See? And so forgiveness comes in not because, oh, you've done something wrong, but I see you, I feel you, I love you, right? Self-forgiveness, self-love again and again and again and again and again and again. And with regards to the external, allow yourself to dispense with the need to know exactly, are they this, are they that, are they an NPC? I'll tell you one way to discern, if you really need to, is this. You can come across people that you do not like, you'll bounce off them, but you know they have emotions, you can feel, you can tell they're unhappy, they're miserable, you can tell they're really angry, they may not be awake at all, but you can feel their emotions. They are soul beings, yeah. NPCs do not have any emotions, guys, they don't. They are simulacra. They are virtual, they're not real at all. I had to buy a new cooker because the one I have just died. And so I had to go to, it's a place, it's called PC World, but I call it NPC World because it fucking is. And there was this guy called Ollie who was the assistant, and there was absolutely nothing there. He had no emotions, he was completely like a simulacra. There was absolutely a void. It's like you know, it kind of reminds me of Clint Eastwood walking into a ghost town and tumbleweeds going by, and it's like, like that, nothing there. So, and I allow myself to forgive that and say, you know, I can choose to hate them, rage, this, that and the other, and that will hurt and harm me, but I forgive and I let that go. I keep letting go, surrender, forgiveness. And when you've been wronged, when you've been hurt, when you've been brutalized and violated to the extent that we have, forgiveness is powerful medicine, people. Acceptance that this is what has happened. I see what is going on. I see what has happened. And I need to come in a way to terms with that. I need to Say, yes, this is the truth. I am a testament to that truth. And I accept that this has happened. And I will forgive what has happened and what has been done. As in, I surrender my need to hate, for vengeance, to rage. I surrender my self-hatred, my self-attack. I surrender. I keep letting all that go. Because it is a sickness. Because the only way to heal this insanity is through love. There is no other way. The more you forgive, the more you'll find presence. The more presence you have, the more able you are to be in awareness of what is going on within you and around you. So you can set boundaries. So you can disentangle from toxic, nasty garbage. So you can protect yourself and keep yourself safe. Yeah? So you can keep healing yourself and shine light. Yeah? I don't mean to, because this is another one of these things. Everybody's very like, you need to shine your light, shine your light. What, like bleed out my life force? No thanks. We cannot change people. Absolutely not. Other people, soul beings, are not our responsibility at all whatsoever. But there are places and there are moments where we are called upon to shine our light. So when that happens, I do. It's as simple as that. No more and no less. Right? First and foremost, we shine our light for ourselves. And that really is that. Forgiveness is powerful medicine, but it's understanding what forgiveness is. It's letting yourself off the hook. Stop being angry. When you feel the hatred, when you feel the rage, which is always that dark generator coming in saying, oh, evil always wins and there's nothing you can do and you're just so worthless and guilty and bad. You know, all this crap and all that stuff that's in there, because it is a substance. It has been put in to us. It doesn't need to be cleansed out of us. It's very hard fucking going. All that is true. That's sacred rage. That's what it is, people. And when it comes out, it can seem really, whoa, putrid. But it's been down there for so fucking long, you see. All that time when you were little, and when you were 6 and 7 and 8, and then you were a teenager, and then you were a young adult, and so forth and so on, and all the abuse, and all the abuse, and all the abuse of being used as a battery, and never really getting anywhere, and this and the other, and just the misery you've suffered, wow. It's a bit of a cesspit, see, so that's got to be cleared out. But that does not mean you're wrong, and it doesn't mean you're bad. Those are emotions of rage that you should have been in awareness of and expressed when you were going through all that, right? But you weren't, and you didn't, and you couldn't, and you weren't allowed, and it wouldn't just went into into the basement of your being. And it accrued there like a really toxic, evil bank account, you know, just more and more and more. And that is how evil has controlled us. That is how it works in a way. Sock puppet, right? And so that is why we do the soul retrieval. That is why we clear layer after layer of putrid filth. That is how we gain more and more self-power, more and more self-awareness, more presence, more spirit eyes and knowing. Yeah? And that's it. Hellwalkers and spellbreakers. This place, it's important to stop yourself momentarily and remind yourself that yes, there is goodness, thank you, because if you don't, evil will literally just swamp you in the belief that, oh, everything is evil, there's only evil, there's nothing else, because that's what it wants you to feel, right? But you've got to open your eyes and you see beautiful trees, you see beautiful animals, you meet some really nice, good people with amazing energy. You have your synchronicity, you have that maverick effect. There was a crop circle done and it had a message and it was just incredible, and it's wow. You know, the light always wins in the end, and it's like, yes. It speaks to you. There is a presence of beautiful, powerful light. Crop circles in and of themselves are really special. There are beings of power, of light, that are with us, that communicate with us. I don't know what they are exactly. I call them the kindred, but we are not alone. We are not alone. It wants you to be in the belief that you're alone. It wants to isolate you. It's, you know, this is what it wants. It wants you to think you're the only one, you're all alone, you're worthless, you're guilty, you're bad, you're all alone, you're all alone, you're all alone. You're not. You're not. it's important to keep coming back to center, to keep coming back to your heart, to keep coming back to your selfhood, to keep coming back to yourself, to build that self-trust, to remind yourself that yes, I am right, I see. And that dark generator lying, but you know it's a liar. You believe it less and less and less. You know and trust yourself more and more and more. This is what it is to regain your sense of self, to regain your selfhood, your self-power. Yeah. And to forgive, to allow yourself to let it go. The mishaps, the obstructionism, the mockery, the triggers. You're out there, you see all these NPCs around here, and they've all got the gadgets. They go running, but they never go running in nature. They always go running down some busy roads, breathing in all the exhaust fumes from the cars. You know, and they always have about a million different gadgets stuck to them. You know, and that used to really trigger me. So I used to allow that, and I used to process that and then release it. It doesn't trigger me anymore, I don't care, that's fine. That's what forgiveness is. Forgiveness is letting yourself off the hook. Forgiveness is doing yourself a massive favor and getting out of that habitual consciousness state of resistance, because you're hurting yourself, you know it. Yeah. And to come back here and feel love. Know that you have that choice in every moment of every fucking day. And I know it's like, what, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. I know. It's like the death march. I know. All of that. It is. All of that. It's fucking evil. You have two choices. You can, or, okay, how can I help myself today? How can I have some peace? How can I, and just keep working through it. Keep working through it. It wants you in that reactive state, you see, hate and rage. Because that's where it has the power. That's what it wants. Yeah? Because that's where you feel like a powerless victim. And you know, I don't think we are. I don't feel we are at all. I think we are powerful beings of light. And so to that end, that is what we do. That's what we work into, as it were, right? It's always a choice. I have a choice. I can choose to be terrified. That could happen. That could happen. You know, like, oh, you got to expect it was the only way to stay safe. That's insanity. That's insane. Most soul beings believe that, by the way. They don't know that they do, but they do. Oh, you do worry about them, don't you? And whatnot. But it's a choice. When you're aware of that mechanism has been put into you, where you have to perennially be terrified of something bad happening. And that is what makes the bad shit happen, by the way. I really do believe that. Because consciousness creates reality. And it's that choice to step back, metacognition, and oh, see what's going on there. It wants me to be terrified. Yeah, I feel terror. I feel abject terror. So I'm just going to feel through that. Because you don't have to stay there like frozen. No. You find things start to get clearer, and you can work and move through these emotions. Because fear will never help you. It will never help you at all. Rage, hate, self-hate, none of it. Judgment, suspicion, none of it. It can all be transmuted. It can be forgiven. And forgiveness is very powerful medicine. To accept that, yes, that's how I'm feeling, that's what's going on, I see what's going on, I understand what's going on, this is what I'm doing with it, I'm transmuting and I'm healing and I'm regaining my selfhood. Wow. Yeah. And yes, that means I'm more and more awake and more awake and even more awake, and it's like, oh my fucking god, what the fuck, how did it get this bad? But I can remind myself of goodness too. Yeah. It's not for the faint-hearted. There's a lot of soul beings out there who don't want to wake up. They don't want to wake up. I don't think they're meant to. And it's not linear. I do believe all soul beings make it home. Reality isn't set up the way that we thought. It's not one thing and it's linear and then you die and taxes and death and no, it's not like that at all. No. Not at all. It's way stranger and it's a magical realm and we're magical beings. We really are. I mean, we're beings of crystalline light. We are good and we are pure and we are true, and that is the truth. Anyway, I think that's it for today. So, yeah. YouTube is really messing with my channel. So, if you find that you're leaving a comment and it won't let you, then you can try and leave a comment under another video of mine. I get them all because I get a little bell, if I'm lucky, mind you. So you can leave a comment under an older video of mine, or you can leave a comment in the where it says posts. So I might post some memes or whatever. You can leave a comment there. Either way, you know, I hope that my videos help you to help yourself, and you know, I'm grateful for you all being there. Remember, you're not alone. Remember that. It wants you to feel that you are, and it wants you to feel powerless, and it wants you to feel completely defeated and completely hopeless and guilty and dirty and sinful and bad, and to just give up and die. You know, it tells you that things are going to get so bad you might as well just commit suicide because, oh well, that's just how it is and blah. It's not true. It isn't true. And we can choose again and again to come back to our self-hood, which is growing ever stronger in the light of truth. Right? All my love to all of you. Bless you.